Well, my name is Bart Smith. I was the youngest of three brothers. I actually went on my first duck hunt at 7 years old. My family grew up hunting. We live here in the West Tennessee area, right on Reelfoot Lake. And I've hunted Reelfoot Lake all of my life, as well as hunted adjoining reserves, fields. But it's 45 years old. I've done it for almost 38 years. And I guess it gets worse every year. Primarily just in Tennessee. I have been out on a few hunting trips, but most of my hunting is done, as I say, either on Reelfoot Lake. I'm fortunate to hunt the timber on Reelfoot Lake. And my lease spot is in a field right off a reserve, and I flood probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 acres and hunt over flooded corn, millet, such stuff as that. So primarily most of my hunting's done within a 30-mile radius of my home. Well, I was the youngest of, there was 3 brothers, and I was the youngest. Actually, I was 11 years younger than my middle brother. And when I was 7 years old, my dad and my 2 brothers took me duck hunting, and that's been 38 years ago, and I hadn't quit yet. Hadn't quit yet. Well, actually, every chance I get. I don't want to take a chance on getting fired from my job, but every chance, every possible minute I can grab, I duck hunt. What do I like most about the Decoy Boss? Well, the Decoy Boss has allowed me to actually, I'm not having to, I've always been one to use electric decoys, basically try to make my hole look as much like a circus to a kid as I can. And what the Decoy Boss allows you to do is you're not putting your own timers, on-off timers, your speeds, you're not using rheostats. It gives you everything you want in one box. And if you should elect to change some of your electric decoys, just turn the switch. The Decoy Boss, you have one 12-volt battery that I use, cuts down on multiple batteries, so I could go on, but that is probably the most useful thing of the Decoy Boss. It puts everything at your fingertips and doesn't force you to visit Radio Shack 3 or 4 times a week during duck season. The construction of the unit, we're not the easiest crew on anything. You can look at our decoys and tell. We've had no buttons to break, no knobs to break. We don't try to hide the unit itself from the elements. We leave it in the blind and our shooting deck where it's snow, ice, rain. We've had absolutely no problems. And as I say, we've hunted this year in 6 inches of snow up to pouring down rains, and we've had no problems whatsoever with the construction. As I say before, to compete, for instance, is in our field blind, we have ducks coming off of reserve every day to go out and feed, or coming back from feeding to the reserve. I couldn't really give you an idea as to how many blinds they pass, but our blind is right next to the reserve. And the way it helps you kill more ducks is as they fly, kind of like a restaurant. As you're looking for a restaurant, what sticks out the most, what is the most appealing, I guess you could say, we're hoping that our spread is the most appealing. And the Decoy Boss has helped us with that due to the fact that we can control our electronic decoys. Absolutely. In the past 10 years, I would say, and you know as well as I do, there's been every gimmick. Ducks that did this, controllers that did that. I would recommend it to any hunter. Any hunter that has, and 99% of all your hunters has at least a spinning wing decoy. And you're seeing more and more electronics involved in duck hunting. And if you're gonna duck hunt 21st century, I really don't see how you could be without the Decoy Boss. Well, as I say, whether you're hunting real foot, whether you're hunting fields, private property, whatever, you're competing. And as I say, these 21st century ducks, you've kind of got to be on the edge or to be successful. The way it has helped me, or the most it's helped me, is because I believe in probably 10% of my decoy spread being what I may call electronic decoys, spinning wings, swimmers, anything of that nature. And the Decoy Boss just basically, as I said before, puts all the controls right in front of you, right at my hands, off one unit, one battery. And if it's improved my hunting experience, that has definitely been what has improved my hunting experience with the Decoy Boss. What I have done personally, I guess it would be just like a campsite. I've took extension cords. Of course, you need to keep your positive and negative side intact, but I use a series of extension cords, both coming out of the Decoy Boss and going out into the hole, different reaches, 50 foots, 100 foots. But now that's how I do my power from the Decoy Boss. Comments or personal thoughts? Personal thoughts is I wished you would have come out with this unit about 10 years ago. It would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of money. Comments about it, anybody that duck hunts is starting to realize, I'm sure, that you have to have spinning wings, you have to have swimmers, you have to have something in your hole that sets it apart from everyone around you. And if you elect to do this, I even take some of my decoys with their own controls, disconnect them and use the Decoy Boss, because you don't have to go out to change anything. Everything is right at your fingertips, and that's what makes it so nice. And you do not have to have multiple batteries. One 12-volt battery runs approximately 20 electronic decoys for 2 days.